I'm back, and this time I don't know why I'm so cheesy. Maybe because this one was the best trip. So I'm gonna talk about my ayahuasca trip. Let's get into it. I did it with a group of people, and I have some notes. I have not been looking at my notes at all, but I think I said everything. Okay. It says emphasis on what. All right, so there is a diet that you have to follow a week before doing ayahuasca. So basically, you can't have meat, you can't smoke, you can't have sex. 3 days before, you can't even eat mangoes. Like, you can't have fruits. If you are on any type of like antidepressants, I think, or something about serotonin or dopamine inhibitors or beta blockers. I don't know what I'm not familiar with those kind of medications, but like on the list of things, I saw that in there. And definitely not, don't smoke, right? So one thing I want to say about this trip is that there's nothing that you're not going into something that you don't know. Basically, going into a trip is just going into your head. And I mean, I guess there could be things that you've blocked out. Like, if you were really traumatized and you have blocked memories, then that could be something that surprises you, like, oh shit, but you'll be like, okay, I remember that. Like, it won't be something that's super shocking, I don't think. At least for me, I didn't like everything I experienced on my trip was something that I already knew, but it just felt like everything was under a magnifying glass. So all my relationships, friendships, people in my life, the way that I respond to the world, the way that I view the world, all of these things were emphasized. All of the important relationships were emphasized. Like, even some where I thought, like, for example, my relationship with my dad, I'm gonna get personal because I feel like this is a safe space. I'm in my house. Like, if you're listening, you probably want to hear specifics. The relationship with my father, we haven't had like a close kind of relationship, and I thought, fuck it, like, I wasn't interested in building depth with that relationship, or at least I thought. I was just like, I'm fine. Like, I've been living without him physically present, or even emotionally present, financially present. This hasn't been a present person in my life, and I thought I could just like continue my life in this way until I did ayahuasca, and that relationship was under a magnifying glass. And the question was basically, if you die, if he dies, would you be satisfied with the relationship? Drops mic. That was all. It was like, if something happens, once you're done, right, with this experience, with this life, are you going to be okay with how things played out? Are you going to be satisfied? Are you going to be fulfilled? So I had to think about myself crossed over to the other side and looking at my life and being like, was this an enriching, fulfilling experience? Did I do my best with all of the relationships? Did I try my best? Because I thought, well, if someone doesn't reach out to me, why am I going to reach out to them? It's a two-way street, blah, blah, blah. But also, we are reflections the relationships that we have are reflections. So it's like, okay, well, what am I reflecting? What is this? So ever since then, I did make it my duty to have a closer kind of relationship with a lot of the people in my life, to be more open, to be more caring, and more authentic. It's just it, more like saying how I feel, not holding things back because of how somebody's gonna respond or react, but also knowing my triggers. So knowing that if I respond a certain way towards something, it's because something is there. I learned a lot about myself, and because of this magnifying glass, because you think, fuck it, this is just me, this is how I am. And then you're asked, like, but is it really? Is it really how you are? If you didn't have these experiences, would you still be the same person? And it's like, shit, so is it really how I am, or am I just a manifestation of my experiences? It's like, well, damn, now I'm thinking about who the heck am I even? So there were a few other things that came up in my experience, and one of them was the earth, the spirit of the earth, the cycles of the earth, the cycles of humanity. Imagine if you're in your body, right? And you feel your body. You don't really feel, not imagine, because this is already what's happening, but at the present moment, when you touch yourself like this, you're touching your body, and this is you. Now imagine if your awareness could go outside of your body and you could feel outside of that. So if you could feel the earth as an extension of yourself, and if you could feel humanity as an extension of yourself, like if you were to touch the outside of yourself, you would touch humanity as a whole, or the earth as a whole, the spirit of the earth, and the cycles. So what became apparent to me was the cycle that we're in now, and how chaotic it is, but also how beautiful it is, and how intentional everything is. And how gentle the spirit of the earth is, and also how wrathful it could be depending on how it's treated. And that's like a direct reflection of me. That's a direct reflection of us, right? Of how gentle we could be, and how rude we could be if we're poked, and how nurturing we could be. So I just saw the whole. I felt the whole. I felt like when the earth was like all ice, if it ever was. I don't fucking know if it was, but that was how I felt. And the seasons of the earth, but like entirely. I'm not talking about seasons like in a year, but like seasons like in an expanded way. Ages, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like the different ages, and how whatever age the earth is in directly affects the consciousness of the humans that live within the earth. So the age that the earth is in now and the reflection of the humans that are, or the consciousness of the humans now, and how some of us are really kind and some of us are really evil. And I also see how, regardless of what you feel about good and bad, how we're actually on the same team, and it's not like a them versus us situation. How it's more like a, you needed a bad guy in order to come into your power. And as much as that sucks, because I don't want to believe that reality is true, but also this is how I take my power back, and being like, we're actually on the same team. We're all on the same team. And the way that the things are playing out look crazy. They look very crazy. But ultimately, I feel like it's all one. It's all one regardless. All that to say, how long have I been talking? 11 minutes. Chloe. All that to say, I do not condone the use of psychedelics. Honestly, I was so ungrounded after this bout of psychedelics. I was so ungrounded. I felt like I was in between worlds. I felt like I was just floating around. I felt like I didn't have a grip. And it took me several sessions with my doctor, not a regular Western doctor. He's not a traditional doctor. He's more of a spiritual doctor, herbalist, naturopath kind of doctor, body work. Like, it took a lot of that for me to feel grounded and whole and complete and all right, like within myself, my mind. I think that what the psychedelics did, like, it pushed my boundaries and expanded my consciousness. But if you don't have an anchor, a person, whether that's a person or like a practice or a group, some sort of support, that could be tough. So for anyone who's thinking about doing psychedelics and doing stronger types of psychedelics, just know that you are the psychedelic. And I'm not just saying that, you literally are the psychedelic. Like, it's already in you. It is you. You just like find the time to tap into yourself, because really what that's doing is helping you to tap into yourself, but it's doing it in an external way. And anything that you have to do external, like take an external thing, it's just like, it's an extra step. Like, you can use it to boost you or to help you, but it's an extra step that you don't have to take. If you do it the natural way and you do it with time and consistency, then it's a much safer route to take. And it might take a little more time. Maybe it won't take a little more time, but as long as your intention is there, then I think you'll be fine. It's much safer, and I think you'll just feel more secure. I think it's the more secure way to do it, is to not try to take a shortcut. A psychedelic is a shortcut, and if you just sit with yourself long enough, you will realize that you are it. You are it.